From the Eagle to the people, let's do a little stand-up. Today's the Eagle stand-up for you. And that's, well, I mean, obviously I'm standing. That's a problem, huh? No. Anyway, there's a couple of things that I was thinking about that I thought were pretty freaking funny, and I wanted to see, well, I wanted you guys to hear it because I think that's going to be a lot of fun for me. So, here's the deal. We're going to start, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself, right? Like you don't know everything already. Well, here we go. I'm going to tell you a little secret about me that apparently has been a secret that really hasn't been a secret, but most people tend to forget. I am ex-military. Yeah. Hi. Ex-military. That kind of stuff. Yes, I was in the Army. That happened. So, with that being the case, you guys now know this. This is important information for you to know because this is where Eagle Story Time comes from. If you haven't heard of Eagle Story Time, it's where we get a bunch of the guys that I used to hang out with, that I deployed with, all this stuff together, and we do story time. And we do it live on the channel every now and then when we play these games. So this is part of the reason why I kind of think, how is this a secret? Is it like the dude who's like, always looks like he's got to tell you a secret? Like, hey man, hey, you know, I just noticed you were actually in the Army. Yeah, no, I was part of the Army. I spent a long time in there, and trust me, it's not one of those melancholy moments. Yes, I will sit here and tell you there were some great times in the Army, most of which I don't remember. It's what happens in the Army. You get in the Army, you get of 18 years old, so you spend your first 3 years being, oh, I'm going to be a high-speed soldier. Yes, sir. I'm going to do whatever you need me to do. You need me to carry that motor across the motor pool? Sure, I got it. We don't have a wheelbarrow? I'll just put some straps on it and drag it. 18 to 21 right there. That's your soldier. And if not, then you have this soldier that should be categorized in the 21 or older, and occasionally you get a couple in between. But typically, you have this soldier, the 18-year-old. You mean I gotta get up? Hell no, I ain't moving that. What? No. No, you go get the crane, and I might think about moving that. And these are the soldiers that typically they come of either one or two things. Either A, they were going to go to jail. And the easiest way to get out of jail is to take the plea bargain for joining the military. I don't know if that's still a thing, but it was when I started. So that was one classification of it. It was the punk kid who thought that he was better than everything and didn't like discipline. Well, guess what? That kid usually ended up getting thrown out by 21. However, there's also the other end of the, my dad said I have to come in here and be a soldier and do something right for my country, and I got to do it because otherwise he's cutting me off of my funding. So, yeah, that's why I'm here. I'm going to do my few years and get out and go enjoy my life with all my money. Well, my money that I never worked for, but it's cool. My dad said give it to me. It comes with a Corvette. It's a pretty sweet deal. I think so. So, those are your two types of soldiers that don't fit the typical A realm. Now, occasionally you get the mix in between, but you have their high speed, your normal speed, and your low speed. And high speed is the dude that's the, I'm here at formation 20 minutes early. Where is everybody? Why are you not at attention? Parade rest. Okay, moving. Done. Don't speak to me. Yes, sir. That's your high speed. And your high speed typically goes like this. I need a volunteer. Ooh, me. Come on. I can do it. I need a specialist. But I'm not a specialist yet, but I'll still do it. Yep, that's your high speed soldier. And that one, unfortunately, was me. It was only sometimes. Like, sometimes I'd like to switch it up. Sometimes I wanted to be high speed. Other times I wanted to be the shammer. There's the difference. Now, the shammer is the other speed. That's the low speed. That's the one who comes in and should be high speed if he could take that same energy of shamming out of doing anything and put it into actually getting it done. This is a guy that comes in and goes, so we have to clean all of that field. That's got to be mowed, and I need to find a mower. So you guys go ahead and start with these scissors. I'm going to go find a mower. And in reality, what that meant was you guys are about to get screwed. And I'm going to look like a good soldier because I was trying to get you the equipment you need to do your job. That's what that boils down to. And typically this happens on Command Sergeant Major detail, which is when the Command Sergeant Major goes, oh, well, we have a group of people actually designated to do this who typically get in trouble and they're supposed to do this. But you know what? Sometimes we like to have a volunteer session. And really, if you're in the Army, let me put it to you like this. Volunteer does not mean you volunteered for it. It means you were voluntold to do it. And that's as simple as that. You walk up and they go, we need a volunteer. And it's like, no. And they're like, Eagle, you volunteer to do this. I did. Yeah, you volunteered just now. You just don't know it yet. But really, you're going to go and take these four really, really terrible soldiers who... That one robbed a bank yesterday, that one stole from a liquor store, that one punched the other guy in the mouth, and that one just has an attitude problem. You're going to take them, and you're going to go make them work out on that hill. And this is exactly why you get the voluntold. Now, I can actually understand this process. Whether or not I agree with it is a completely different story. But you take bank robber, liquor store robber, bad attitude, and even worse attitude, and put them out on a hill, do you think anything is going to get done? No. No. Not at all. See, now the crappy part is when you don't have bank robber, liquor store robber, punch that guy in the face and bad attitude over there. When you don't have that, then it's, we need volunteers. You, and you. Yes, you're overweight. You're coming too. Just go ahead and get up. It's fine. You need the PT, or you can go do Command Sergeant Major detail. You're a pick, dude. And that's usually how that works. And when that one happens, then everybody's going, all right, who wants to be the screwed train here? Unless you get a specialist. Now, when you get a specialist, this is the MO of a specialist. We're going to pretend these are sunglasses. So here's the deal. Specialist. This is sunglasses. Boom. Sunglasses on. Specialist. This is a monster. Boom. There you go. Specialist stands there. Yeah. Alright guys, here's the plan. You're going to do that. You're going to do that. You're going to go up that hill and clean up all of that. And I am going to go up to the Command Sergeant Major's office and try to find some other people to do the rest of this stuff. And what I'm really telling you right now is that I am not going to go to the Command Sergeant Major's office. No, I am going to actually go back to my barracks room and take a nap, but you guys are going to think that I'm going up there to do this. And if anybody asks where I'm at, I went to the Command Sergeant Major post. Now, if I'm not there, it's because she sent me somewhere. So don't bother trying to come find me or anything, because I will be back eventually. Right about 1700 clock out time. Just enough time to really miss that flag coming down, because I don't want to stand there and actually have to salute the flag. So I'm going to go and hide inside at the same time. But you guys are going to get that hill mowed. You guys are going to get that fence put up. And don't worry about any of that garbage under the truck, because you're going to get the power washer and clean it out. And that's how that works. So there you go. Done. Bing. Solved. And that's your specialist. Now you have one of those, and typically the guy that gets voluntold is that guy. Now, on the side note, coming through all of the military experience that I had, I was voluntold a lot because I was not that guy. As much as I wanted to be that guy, I was the high-speed guy. It meant you gave me a job, I'm going to do that job, regardless of whether or not you like me doing that job. Didn't matter that I had specialist on my chest. You know what that meant? That meant that I was in line for corporal, which is a bilateral movement of more responsibility, same pay, and occasionally you get to be a bitch. And that's what I strove for. I don't know why. I thought it was a great idea. You know, getting good with the NCOs. It'll work out for you. I don't think there was a day that I wasn't knee-deep in some kind of shit. Just saying. So, these are the typical people you have in the military. Now, I have been on a lot of those cases where I was the high-speed guy, and I will gladly say that. But I've also been on the flip side, where I hung out with a lot of the guys who just happened to be in the right MOSs to keep me from getting in trouble. And this was a huge thing. So, Typically what a soldier at 21 does is your 21st birthday. You are not going to remember that birthday. You are not going to remember that you even left post on that birthday because, trust me, by the time you leave post, you can't walk. And my favorite thing about this is all of this happens in Korea. So Korea is a place that you literally get to, and you're sitting in AIT, and you're doing your little, okay, I got to learn how to plug in that number there, shoot, move, communicate, got that part good. Okay, why'd Chandler go over there? Why are you out of formation? Reset, do it all again. We're starting and going until 0500. That's the answer now. Let's just get that straight. So, you have that moment in time where at the end of all of that, you find out as you're sitting in a classroom, you get this paper on your email. Now, granted, your email is like, it's a 15,000 firewall code to try to figure out how to even get into your email. You need to be a NASA scientist to get into your military email. And it should be as simple as you take this little card and you plug it into the thing and then you go, oh, I'm in. No, that's never how that works. It never, ever, ever works like that. Here's how that works. You plug in your card and the thing goes, would you like to buy Amazon Prime? Would you like to get some eBay Plus? Would you like to try to log into your Yahoo that hasn't existed for 30 years because you're really trying to get into your military account? Oh, you needed your military account? Okay, we're going to need a DD-214, which is your leave papers that you're not going to get for another 4 years. By the time you collect all that, you might be able to get into your email, or you're going to run into the next error code. This takes a while to do, but by the time you get into your email, which you're eventually going to get down second nature to where you know the 15,000 steps to just get into the email to check to see, and this is my favorite thing you get to see. You're checking your email to see what updates they're going to give you as to what classes you need to take on your time. I get paid less than $1.94 an hour. Now, if you break this down, I'm not even kidding you. Military people like myself worked upwards of 90 hours a week. You break that down hourly at $20 an hour or even $15 an hour, we should have been bringing home roughly $2,000 a check. A basic private makes $600 a check. And that's every 2 weeks. Unless, of course, you were stupid and you signed up for the once-a-month check. Then you're really, you might make like $1,200, but after taxes, it's like $9. So you just put in an entire month's worth of work at less than $1.94 per hour. Because, yes, you get your time off. Yes, you get to go and travel. Yes, you get to do all of that, but AR 670-10 states that you have to be at formation within 15 minutes of that formation being called. You have to be available at any given time. There is no guaranteed downtime within the military. You probably shouldn't be getting drunk tonight, but you're going to because it's your time. Now, when you show up at my formation after the fact that you've been drunk, I'm going to ring you for being drunk and then get you and take more of your money with an Article 15. Because it's the weekend, but I decided to rally a formation in the middle of the night while you were off post. And you didn't make it back within 30 minutes. And if you did make it back within 30 minutes, you're drunk. And we don't like drunk soldiers. So, here's the dilemma. Do you drink or do you just do what everybody else does who's the high-speed soldier? Now, I was the mix of both. I like to go to the gym, but when I went out, I typically didn't get that drunk, so I could get away with coming back to a formation if it was called. Now, the shittiest part of that month was the time when they called GO1 Alpha. It's like the Army on their period. Let's just be straight about that. It's literally the Army on its menstrual cycle. What it does is it takes all of you little soldiers out there, and trust me, I know you're out there. Even if you're not a vet, you do this at some point in your life. Every one of you who likes to drink and likes to drink on a daily basis, a weekly basis, or even just on the weekends, but you go a little too far. Now, you know what I'm talking about. A little too far is the, I gotta use the bathroom. My leg's full. You know that. We all know that. And we all know the limits. There's some of us that can handle our alcohol. That's not me. That might be you, but you know who you are. And then there are people who can't handle their alcohol. That is me. I know this. I have 3 beers. I'm done. I will not drink anymore because 4 beers and I'm going to be on the floor throwing up. I learned this about myself. Now, most of us that are like me do not know that we can't hold our alcohol. It's as simple as that. I mathematically figured out that I weigh 135 pounds. I can have 3 beers, and then my metabolism can no longer handle that. Therefore, that's when the drunk starts. So, after 3 beers, I'm in drunk city. But I learned that because, you know, math. It's a thing. I never thought I'd use it. Guess what? Had to figure it out one time, and now I don't need it. So, boom. If you failed math class, don't worry, I did too. So, here's the deal with GL1 Alpha. GL1 Alpha is hit, and what it does is takes all of those people that are just like you and me that like to go off of a really long week or a really screwed up field experiment, come back and drink a beer. And what they do is they say, no. No. You're a drinker? Good. Because now you can't drink at all. Period. And if you're caught drinking, we're going to throw you out of the army on a dishonorable. That's how that works. And the reason they do this is because it's a training exercise. Basically, what that means is some jackwagon went and got too drunk, did something stupid, and now we all pay for it. When you know who that jackwagon is, that jackwagon that couldn't bother to pay $1.26 for a 6-ounce bottle of NyQuil because he thought he could steal it and run out of the PX while he was drunk. PX, by the way, is called a post-exchange. That is the place where military people go to buy their stuff because we're technically not supposed to go to civilian people because our stuff is specially made from China. Actually, let me rephrase this, and I will prove this one day. The ACU top is made in Germany. The ACU bottoms are made from China. The socks are made in Japan, and your boots are made in Korea. But it's 100% U.S. made. Now, I'm not bashing the Army. I get it. Sometimes you got to cut costs. You're spending $1.3 million just to spend 6 months training a soldier that you don't know if you're going to send out on that place when you get into that email and find out that it says Camp Carroll or Camp something or Camp Lejeune or Camp whatever it is. If it says ADA Camp, you're going to Korea. Now, you're going to spend $1.2 million taking somebody that you've never even met. Really never even met. You never hung out with this guy in civilian life, so you don't know what he's going to be like. You're going to dump $1.2 million into his training and send him overseas with no supervision. And when he gets there, he's going to find either the group of high-speed people that kind of know how to, you know, like, you get a little bit going, that's fun, but typically you're going to stay in the straight lane and not end up in trouble. That was me. I did get in trouble, don't get me wrong, I'm not going to lie and say I didn't. I did, but I didn't get in as much trouble as that guy. So, here's the key to this. This kid, you just dumped all that money into. You're going to pay him $1.94 an hour. He's going to figure that out eventually because every soldier has figured that out. You're going to put him on a list that says he's going to Camp Carroll after he finished the 15,000 steps to just get into his email to find out that even though he really, really, really wanted to go across overseas and really wanted to be involved in the Iraq, Afghanistan, Fallujah, whatever deployment you were on, you're going to Camp Carroll or Korea. Now, here's the key to Korea. And this is where people get me confused a lot. And I'm going to clarify this. It is a hardship tour. It is not a deployment. We call it a deployment because technically speaking, you do get the same treatment as deployment. The difference, however, is on deployment, you get shot at a lot. Things blow up a lot. You make one wrong move, you probably killed half your base. In a hardship tour, you still get shot at. But it's a training exercise or a training accident. You still might end up killing everybody, but that's a might, because typically one mistake is pretty much able to be swept underneath the radar. So there you go. You're a little safer there. You get a little leniency. There you go. That's why they call it a hardship tour. Now, if you're a high-speed moron like me, it's not a hardship tour. It's you're the dude that they volunteer to do all the jobs that they don't trust that guy with. Oh, and by the way, if you're thinking about joining, I have to tell you, you're going to go in and be like, I want to be an 11 Bravo. I'm a 72 double prestige in Black Ops 3. Good for you. Good for you. Go be an 11 Bravo and do that, because really what's going to end up happening is you're an 11 Tango and you can't even figure out how to push a button. Because no matter what you pick to do as your job, you're not actually going to do your job. You're going to be a 92 Alpha who specializes in ordering parts in an arms room cleaning a gun because they need that spot filled. So, if you are going to join, keep in mind that that is just the way it is. You are a soldier first. You will fill in where you are needed, not where you are designed to go. So, you might be an 11 Bravo who's all about the bang bang. I'm going to deploy. I'm going to be on the field. I'm going to do this. And you might just get stuck in front of a grenade launcher with a button. And that's your job. So just so you know. Oh, and that signing bonus? Read the fine print, please. I'm not even going to tell you what that boils down to. Read the fine print. Trust me. When that recruiter tells you, oh, there's a $4,000 signing bonus, read the fine print. You'll thank me for it one day. Trust me, if you're thinking of joining, you will thank me for telling you to read that fine print. And then, no matter what that recruiter tells you, you get it in writing with a signature on it. Done. You want to join the military, you don't need to know anything except for that information right there. Read the fine print of your contract. Number 2, get it in writing with a signature from your recruiter. Because the moment that recruiter gets you to sign that paper and put you in the Army and you didn't get it in writing, that signing bonus might not be there. That Ranger school that you were so uppity about getting into, you're not going to get that either. Because he didn't have to. He just has to get you in. So there you go. I've just taught you something in the middle of telling you funny stories. Go figure. So, here's the deal with where I was going with all of this. Deployment turns around, and it basically turns into you're either drunk or you're not drunk, and if you're drunk, you're usually in trouble. And that's how it went. But the drunk stories, 90% of deployment or the military, you're pretty much drunk. Which is why, yes, there were great times in the military. I don't remember any of them. I remember the funny times because I was not quite drunk enough to not remember. But I was still drunk. So there you go. So this is actually why I quit drinking, because of the Army. Now, I got out of the Army. Fast forward a little bit. I'm here. I'm a YouTuber. I get to do this for a living, which is pretty cool, right? I like it. That's the way it is. So, let me tell you a little bit about what I've figured out since I've been in the civilian world. I figured out that women are not women you can't even write a book to figure out. And I don't say that to offend any females in this channel, or any females anywhere, to be honest. But what I have learned is that you cannot please them. Period. Doesn't matter. You can be me all day long. You can walk in with a there's some roses. There's some chocolate. A Snickers. I got coffee. What else do you need? You can walk in and be that guy. Or you could be the guy that walks in and goes, oh, honey, I put in some rose petals. If you just follow the rose petals, it's going to lead you right to the table where I made a fresh Italian dinner. And I even put a bow in the dog's hair after giving him a bath. And when you're done eating that delicious Italian stir fry. Excuse me, I need a drink. And when you are done eating that delicious Italian stir fry that I made for you from scratch, and I even made the noodles myself, I really did. Yes. When you're done eating that, you just keep following those rose petals, and it's going to lead you to a nice candlelit bath where you're going to get a nice bath and a book and all this other stuff. And then when you're done, it's got a towel that's just freshly pressed for you. I've got it all fluffed up. It's good to go. And you're going to go back to the bedroom and you're going to relax. And I'm going to come in and I'm going to give you a massage. And there's not going to be any catch to it. That still will not please you. And I promise you, I know this because I've tried this. It still does not work. It works for that night. And I will give you that. It does work sometimes for that night. But trust me, that woman's going to come into the house and be like, the house is clean. Who are you and what have you done with my boyfriend? Coming up the stairs. Oh, there's rose petals on the floor. That's awesome. Did you think how those are going to get smashed into the carpet? At all, period? Really? Okay. Oh, it's sweet. I get it. Oh, look, you made dinner. Good. I get to do the dishes afterwards, don't I? That's going to be really fun. I told you not to cook. You don't know how to cook. Okay, so maybe you can cook, but it's still look at the dishes. Just look at what you've done to my sink. And then I gotta go shopping, and that's gonna suck. And trust me, I know this because this is what I've been told by multiple females. None of you truly can just enjoy that moment. And if you can, kudos to you, but I haven't met you, so from my experience, you cannot. And the thing about this is, you guys get one special thing a month, and I love this. I do. I wish that us as men had this. Why isn't the house clean? Why is the laundry all over the place? What are you doing? Oh my God, I just got up my cramps. I'm cramping. I hate you. Where's the coffee? Somebody get me a Snickers bar. Why don't we have anything in this house? Why is the fridge always empty? Even though you just went shopping yesterday, but it's just because there's nothing in there you want. That one time a month that you get for a full week, I finally figured out how to get a little bit of payback on. Now, guys, I'm going to tell you a secret before I leave here today, and this is very, very important for you. I'm a smoker. And that's not the secret. No. Hold on. I'm a smoker. I've been a smoker for 20 plus years. 20 plus years I have smoked cigarettes. I smoke because of that. Because of moments like that, so my temper doesn't escalate your temper. Now, with that being said, you guys are about to be in on the biggest secret I've figured out about life, and this is the greatest thing you'll ever appreciate. If you are a smoker, that week that she gets where she's on her menstrual cycle and she gets to run your ass over, here's what I want you to do. I want you to be the biggest, nicest person you can possibly be for that entire week. And then when that's done, I want you to quit smoking the next day. Don't quit permanently. No. Don't do that. No. And I'm not, this isn't for the tobacco company, so you're going to make a little extra money. Big deal. It's worth it. Trust me. And the reason why is because I just figured this out. I'm quitting smoking. Do you know what quitting smoking means? Quitting smoking means that you get a little spot right here that goes, and you look at people and you go, huh. Typically your hair being slightly to the left and not parted right wouldn't annoy me, but today it's driving me crazy. Now that's the start. And then you get the tingles. The tingles that go up and down the arm here. And that's like a furnace. And what that does is that's about 6 hours of you haven't had a cigarette. And what that is the dog rolled over and licked himself. And I can't handle that sound right now. I really can't. I can't handle the sound of my own breath right now. And trust me, it escalates like this. Okay. I'm going to sit. I'm quitting smoking, so I'm out of everybody's way. I'm in my office. Here's the deal. I'm in my office to kind of save people. But really, I want you to sit right next to your girlfriend. I want you to sit right next to that person that gets that once a month treatment of being there for a week, because they are about to get the exact taste of what they do to you for a whole week in one sitting. Now, the beauty of this is you get a whole week, and that should be the rule, and I think that's a fair rule. You get the whole week. They get a whole week, we get a whole week. That's just how it goes, right? If it's all equality and everybody wants to be equal, then we get a week of being on our menstrual cycle, right? I think it's a great plan. So, here's what you're going to do. You're going to plop down in front of your girlfriend, wife, whatever's going on, your boyfriend, your female friend, however it is that you want to do it. When they do that, I want you to sit there. Go ahead and be nice for the morning, because you're not gonna die for the first like 2 hours or 3 hours, but it will start picking at you, and it's like a little woodpecker in the back of your head that's just bang, 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 bang. And trust me, it will escalate very, very quickly, and then it'll de-escalate, and then it'll escalate, and then it de-escalates. And the reason why is because your body is getting rid of nicotine. Now, when it's doing that, it's kicking out all the crap that's in there, but it only wants it for a certain amount of time, and then it goes back to normal like you had it anyway. So here's the trick to it. During that moment, when you feel that heat starting, that moment right there, I want you to sit next to them. And I want you to listen to everything they're doing. I want you to listen to their fingernails as they're biting them during that really, really romantic movie, and they want to know the ending. I want you to question everything about that movie. I want you to hear the water droplets. I want you to hear everything going on outside. I want you to hear the cat licking itself upstairs. And the reason why I want you to do this is because within 5 minutes of doing that, you're going to be absolutely at the breaking point. And this is where that payback comes. Because you will be sitting there watching The Notebook. And you're doing it because you're nice and you want to spend time and they're finally off that week. And you're like, okay, cool. I can watch The Notebook. I suppose. I can watch a really weird romantic thing where some dude reads him, the girl, her entire life that she wrote in a diary because she didn't want to forget him and he wants to fall in love with her every single day. Yeah, I can. Why would you want to read anybody anything in a diary? But it's romantic. Who cares about romance? Why would you write that down? And who's stupid enough to have the amount of time that is needed to read an entire book that long? If it took 12 hours to make that movie, guess what, buddy? That freaking book takes more than one sitting to read. And I don't care about your grandkids. Your grandkids can come up all day. You can remember them halfway through. That's cool, except for the fact that you wouldn't be at that part of the book. So this movie is complete trash right now. Absolutely trash. And you, by the way, licking your fingers over there, would you stop? Holy cow. It's like listening to a freaking cow in my ear going, mwah, mwah, mwah. And that freaking cat's about to get thrown out the window. I swear to God, you better deal with it now. And don't you even bring up my laundry. And trust me, that week will be given to you because of the simple fact that you will announce before this whole process that you are quitting smoking that day. And I promise you, it will work, and you will take some flack for it, but the backhand of it is that you're not going to quit smoking the entire time. You're just going to do it for that week to drive her crazy so you get your time a month, but you're not going to tell her that you're only going to do that for a week because then the jig is up. You get probably, honestly, 2 months, give or take, of extreme mood swings when you quit smoking. And I can tell you that from experience. This is not the first time I've quit smoking. I know what the hell's going on. You get like 2 months of this. And it's amazing how hungry you are going to get. I weigh 135 pounds. By the time I will quit smoking in 2 months, I will probably be about 180 pounds. Because you just eat everything. Everything looks good. After a week, things start tasting different. After 2 weeks, things start tasting different again. And flavors pop. And then all of a sudden your coffee, you're like, whoa, it's the strongest crap on the planet. Oh, I need more. Yes, that is exactly how that's going to work. But for 2 months, you are going to have the weirdest things get under your skin. So if you go for the full run, good for you. I'm totally behind you. Quit it. Support it. You're on. But if you just want to get back at her for a week, go ahead and only quit for that week. Then smoke the rest of the month until she has her week and do it again. And eventually she'll learn, or this will ruin your relationship, so that's a risk you're going to have to take here, is that either she needs to chill out or you're going to keep doing that. And you can even tell her that. I'm going to quitting my smoking until your temper comes down to right around where we can just maintain. Which is fair. I think that's fair. In an equal area, that would be a fair thing to talk about, right? I think that's the way it should be. I think because you get a week, I should get a week. And then eventually we'll see exactly if we can't find a middle ground where we're both kind of just uncomfortable. And that has worked for me. By the way, if you don't believe me, that has worked for me. I have done this. It did kill my relationship in the long run. However, it did get me a middle ground where I wasn't in the morning, waking up in the morning, looking at her and going, good morning, beautiful, and having her wake up, roll out of bed, and jump on her menstrual cycle and run my ass over. That's exactly how that works. So, from an ex-military vet to you, try it. Or don't try it if you want to actually keep your relationship. Make sure you discuss it with them or whatever. But it will work. And if it doesn't, then I'm sorry. So, on that note, guys, this has been an Eagle comedy session for you. I'm excited to get this one up. I'm happy that I got a chance to sit here and do this. And thank you for coming and watching this. And I will put up more of these because I have some other stories to tell you. And we will start calling this the Eagle Story Time. The actual Eagle Story Time. How's that? Boom. Done. And if you like these episodes, go ahead and smack the crap out of the like button. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. It's somewhere up here. And that way you don't miss a single upload ever from me. Eagle. And on that note, I will see you and all of your beautiful faces on a trip to Hawaii in a brand new car. Nope, next video. Bye-bye. I'll see you in the next one.